So if we're ready or wanting to commit or recommit to a healthy lifestyle, what are some tips you can give us for getting started on
Okay, well, the first one is to narrow down what it is you want to do. So, for many people, and I know I'm this way, there are so many things that we feel we need or want to do. We want to change, it can get really overwhelming. So, you just look at the list, and as in many things where it's so overwhelming, you do nothing. So, the first thing is to try to narrow down what that what is. And what I ask people to do is to narrow down what they value or to actually talk about what they value. And I encourage people to write this down. Get a list, quiet space, cup of tea, coffee, whatever it looks like for you, and write down what you value most in your life. And this isn't necessarily around your health or anything like that. It's just what is important to you. And for some people, it will be good health, or it might be family. I want to be, when I'm 80 years old, I want to be able to play with my grandkids. I want to be running on the beach with them or taking them to the park. I value for some people, it's they value even their career. I want a strong career. I want to make a mark, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people think that if they have that kind of tendency and they value that, they don't want to talk about the fact that maybe they want to be independent or make a lot of money. The reality is that money gives you a lot of options. Money's not a bad thing. Money gives you the freedom to give to charity if you want.
Sure.
It also can give you independence and the ability to travel or do the things that you want. So it's important to face those things and not be ashamed of them. These are things that you value. Often what people find at the end of the day, it's relationships and it's family. It's not the work so much. No one ever on their deathbed said, "Oh, I should have worked more." I wish I had spent more time with my loved ones.
Right.
That's very, very common. So, and as morose as that might sound, even go to that level. Think about it. At the end of your life, what are you going to look back and say, "I wish I had done more of"? This doesn't need to be a lengthy exercise. Do it until you're comfortable, or maybe just start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. And then just kind of set that list aside. And then at another time, come back and connect. What are those things you want to change? And connect them back to items on your list. So, for example, if I do want to be with my grandkids on the beach when I'm 80 years old. If I'm in ill health, if I'm overweight, if my bones and everything are so sore, that's not congruent with being out there
right
on the beach.
Right.
For people with bad spending habits, if they're out, if they want a life where they feel independent and financially secure, if they're spending all their money on handbags and new shoes, that is not congruent with being in that place of being able to travel or being able to retire. So there's those connections that you can then internally make. So I really encourage you to tap into your values, not somebody else's. It's what really lights you up. And then really listen to your gut. So we've kind of gone through that exercise. These are my values. These are the things that I know I want to do. How do they tie together? And does one really pop out for you? Is there like one thing that says, yeah, I need to lose weight, or I really need to quit smoking, or even that I really need to stop spending so much money? What is your gut telling you? And just choose one thing. And what is that one most important thing that I need to do, that I can do? And I emphasize can. It's what can you do, not what can't you do. And then we get into the whole series of excuses, and that's what a health coach can actually help you with.
Right. So one of the things that you say that sounds so obvious, but I think it's really important to kind of come back to, is your values, not somebody else's. I mean, you mentioned the whole somebody who's focused on career and making money might feel ashamed of that.
Yeah.
Probably because they're thinking of somebody else and what they think of it. So it really is important to think what matters to me and what do I want.
And for so many people, it's your family influence, it's your parents.
Sure.
I was in a graduate program and had a doctor in my class getting his MBA. And I said, "What are you doing here?" He's like,
"Why?
I never wanted to be a doctor. I did this because my parents wanted me to be a doctor." And by this time, he was in his mid-30s. It's like,
Yep.
I'm not doing this anymore. I want to go down my path.
Making a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. It's never too late.
it's never too late.